I'll say puff leaves. I'm going back in. Nay, my lady, exhausted as thou art, thou wouldst only endanger thyself. I pray thee, rest a moment. There was nothing where we looked. Griffin. Hi. What's up, guys? Dear gods, were it not for Sorbin's blessing, but I need not labor the point. I'm glad to see you are safe and well, my friend. Any idea how worried we were to wash up on the shore only to find you weren't with us? Well, whose fault was that? Oh, but I'm forgetting. Here's your crown, your majesty. The fool kept that part of the bargain at least. Ah, thank you, madam. Well, there were certain twists and turns. Our work here is done, with everyone none the worse for wetness. Yeah, fuck those guys. They're the ones got screwed over on the deal. Lynn, is something amiss? Ugh. A great big mob of mortals is marching to Ilmeg. Mortals with ugly weapons and uglier faces. Oh no, they wouldn't happen to be your friends, would they? Hell no. Rather the reverse, I fear the Yulmorian army, I guess. Meaning we can play with them? Oh, sure! Play with them all you want! But just to be sure, I will return with you to confirm their identities. If they are who we suspect, we will require your aid. If Alphino is cunning, the LSA will too. Yes, can't have one without the other, you know. Twins. Alright, just remember, we're not your playmates this time. I'm afraid we must leave the rest of the relic hunt in your hands. Don't worry, I've done this sort of thing before. It's fine, defeating a Light Warden would always have fallen to me. Oh man, that sounds really sarcastic. No, go my elf children. Save the world. If it is indeed the Yulmorian army, we may soon have to contend with Ranjit again, which may prove problematic even for you. Yeah, he was kind of hard guy. If only I hadn't been caught. Well, you didn't know, I'm guessing. Like, why would the Yulmorian army be anywhere where you were? A visit to the Namu. Oriage is either person. Hunt for fairy red relics. With our enemies fast approaching, time is of the essence. We must needs accomplish our mission with all possible haste. Of the two remaining bearers of the relics, the Numu or the Nier, we shall seek them out next. Among the Fae folk, they bear the distinction of having abided in these lands since before the flood. They are also the friendliest to men and have served me faithfully whensoever I have called upon them. Indeed, they are the source of much knowledge I've acquired in my time here. The path leadeth past my dwellings, let us away. Past yonder cliff lieth Plani, home of the Nomu. This one? This cliff? The others have gone ahead, scouted the way. Come, let us follow. That is a hell of a cliff. If the path striketh thee as precipitous, it's because it was once a mountain trail. Oh man, what a view! For where the lake now lieth, there was a valley in whose midst thrived the city of Voibert. 'Twas only when the Fuath came in the wake of the flood that a settlement was drowned. We stand now upon its former outskirts, grazing lands where shepherds once tended their flocks. Though one cannot help but feel a pang of loss when faced with such a spectacle, one can scarcely blame the Fey folk for so altering the land. The blame for that lied directly with the light, a force terrible enough to bring entire civilization to its knees, an entire world that it should have been allowed to rise up unchecked is the greater regret. How are we supposed to know? How are they supposed to know? Yet in spite of all the tragedy which surrounded me, full glad am I for the chance to be here. 'Twas these hands which brought together the warriors of darkness and Binfilia, lest thou forget. Therefore, even were there no 8th globe umbral calamity forestall, it seemeth only right that I strive to deliver the first from its doom. Only right, I say, though such words ill convey the strength of my resolve. In truth, I can no more ignore the plight of this world than I can choose to stop breathing, and thus do I labor for those we have lost, for those we can yet save. The coming struggle promises to test us to our limits, but so long as we stand together, I doubt not that we shall prevail. You have too much faith, Uriaje. Aha, mortals, just as we thought. Hast thou business with us? Business? Nothing so boring. We smelled you coming and we thought we'd come to play. They do not appear to be pixies of Lidna-Loran. Really? Mine apologies, but we are in some haste. Mayhap another day. Oh, in some haste are you? Then allow me to hasten on your way. Ah! Teleportation magic. For mercy, we were not sent far from our course. Did the pixies find us again, however, they will most assuredly repeat the trick. We have not the time to waste. Let us avail ourselves of an enchantment I have learned. Fey Cloak, 'tis called, the most ingenious magic which rendereth one invisible to Fey folk, albeit briefly. Yeah, people get so pissed off of these fucking pixies that they have to make up this specific magic just to avoid them. Who gave them all this magic in the first place? I shall cast the enchantment upon thee under its aegis, thou art to make thy way past the pixies and rejoin our comrades. Know, however, that the enchantment shall suffice to veil thee and thee alone. Be not tempted to employ a mount, as it will only serve to give thy patient presence. Ah, so I have to hoof it. Ah, fine. Oh, am I under Fey Cloak? Okay. Well, apparently it doesn't render me invisible to enemies. Come out, wherever you are. What should we do when we find them? We'll send them flying. Here, another asshole piss. Any moment now. Wow. The pixies leave disappointed. I see a crystal there. No, fuck off. Well, I still have the enchantment, so I might as well just sprint. Alright, you wanna go? I lost sight of you. Is everything alright? We had to do some shit. I see. Yes, I'd say that's a valid excuse for lateness. You are hereby forgiven. Another good news, the Numo village just lies through here. We'll enter as soon as Oriage deigns to join us. Oh my. Sup? Ah, mortals. Mortals are here. Lots of them. I thought you said Numo were men's best friend. Poor thing was beside itself with fear. It was beside itself, perhaps, but not with fear. This is unacceptable, unacceptable, I tell you. To have so many mortals appear at once. More excitement than we could bear. Well, don't wet yourself. Greetings, Elder Ykronix. Tyranny, it hath been a while. Pray forgive my brevity, but time is against us. We are coming to borrow the stone scepter of the Numo. Stone scepter? Then you mean to lift the seal over Liglela? That is unacceptable, unacceptable, I tell you. If the king is set free, none here will be safe. Unlike our Fey cousins, we Numo have called this land our home since time immemorial. Leaving is unthinkable. Thus did full many of us lay down our lives to seal away the king when they were corrupted by light. But if we do as you ask, our sacrifice will be in vain. Don't worry, we'll defeat Titania. No one will come to harm. Just hand over the god. Ooh, just hand over the god's damn staff. Oh man, I feel like doing this. But then you'll only become another light warden. It changes nothing. Honored Elder, pray believe me when I say that this woman is possessed not only of the strength required to vanquish the king, but of something still more valuable, a means to resist the resultant corruption. Indeed, she hath already laid low the light warden of Lixland, all without succumbing to the influence of its light. She is yet a stranger to this land, 'tis true, but she harboureth the self-same desire to see the Sun-Eaters eliminated as we do. Wilt thou not lend us thy hand, that we may seal thy beloved home restored to its former glory? You have always done right by us, Oriage. If you have placed your faith in this woman, then so shall we. As you say, we want nothing more than to be rid of the Sun-Eaters. Excuse me, it's past 12 o'clock. We require time to deliberate. A turn of the moon, perhaps. What? That's a month. We don't have a month, dude. We don't have a turn of the moon, unless we want to debate this with the Ilmoran army. Elder, given all that's at stake, I cannot well expect thee simply to roll over and acquiescence to our request. But even now, a powerful foe draweth near, and I fear I must beseech thee to hasten thy deliberations, that thou must fetch us the scepter while there is yet time to use it. Roll over. Fetch! Blah, 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 blah. You know full well that naught give us greater pleasure than to render aid to men. You know full well, yet you speak the words of power regardless. It's unfair, I tell you. What? In happier times, it was our honor to assist mortals in need to receive rewards befitting our deeds. Since the kingdom of Fobert fell, however, we've been starved of man's patronage. After so many years of deprivation, it's difficult to honor such an earnest entreaty. What the fuck? Oh, are you telling me that these are literally just dogs? Right, rollers, I promise you give us swift an answer as I may. In return, I ask you that use in yours repaying here while we bestow upon us your patronage. Is this arrangement agreeable? So what you mean is you just want to pat their heads and tell them what a good boy they are? Boop the snoot. With a neck. Will you offer your patronage to our people too? Yes. Let's see, perhaps you can begin with Marnos. They are one of our foremost artisans, held in highest esteem by the Knights of Voibert. With the Knights gone, however, Marnos has no opportunity to put their skills to use. They would be overjoyed of your patronage. They always make these curious... Oh, Adonis. Hey, dude. They always make these curious statements. Make it sound more sinister than it's supposed to be. Well enough to be served. The question is whether we can provide a fitting reward. Just tell them they're good boys. What am I making? Traditional Numu potion. Like most of our concoctions, the key ingredient is mushroom spores. Mushroomy. Right. What's this? Being made from mushrooms, our homes are extremely vulnerable to fire. But one stray ember and it could burn all down. So someone must always keep an eye on the cook fire. How do you survive so long? Oh, you can fit here. I can't. Well enough to be served. The question is whether we can provide a fitting reward. Don't worry about it, that crit. I'm sure you can deal. Marnos. 1,182, 1,183, 1,084. Wait, did I already count that leaf? Why are you counting leaves, you son of a bitch? Wait, you're immortal. Huzzah, huzzah. Well met. Yes, very well met. Have you old and tired arms and armor that are threatening to fall apart at critical junctures in battle? This is true. The answer is go to the right Numo. I'll restore your equipment to pristine condition for payment of a pair of moss fungus legs. Okay. Moss fungi roam outside the cave. Please give their legs and your patronage to me. Sure. Now we have to clarify something about what patronage is. I mean, if it's just me giving you a pat on the head, I mean, I'm fine with that. Where did I get the cloud mount? Is it on Mog Station now? Are people paying actual cash for it? I ran across this post on Reddit with someone talking about how people would freaking use a Fantasia every other day, once a week at the very least. And like, Fantasias are like $10 a pop, so like, you're blowing so much Fantasia over what? With the moss fungus legs, I hope. They are tools of my trade, lest you wonder. Used to polish metal and leather alike to a lustrous sheen. Now that I have work again, I must replenish my stores. How many moss fungus will you? I don't know. Just give them all. Give them. Take. If I have 3, give them 3. I don't need all these legs. 3? But ask for 2. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, shit. You doubt that Alpha was... Tell me what an hour is called grasping what? I think we bad no. Oh, yes, I will make a find us everything. Damn. Oh, shit. Oriashi did warn me about this. Oh, my bad. You mustn't tease us, fairy, so in my agitation I could have done much worse than simply snap at you. Really? See, for that to be honored in a task, we must receive precisely what is worth. Too little means you belittle our ability, too much you question our integrity. You're giving me fitting payment, so my services are at your disposal. I shall begin my inspecting your equipment. Oh man, so now I have to remember everything. You must have first small food. I am pleased to say that all your arms and armor may be stored. If you mean to change them in the near future, there's no need to hurry. My first repair is complimentary. Here's the coin which you may pay me with side work done. Many thanks for your patronage. You're welcome. Oh. I suggest blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I was wondering why the hell this place didn't have a mender. Apparently it was a side quest. Damn, all these fairies are secretly... But isn't that the way of all fairies? They're all secretly murderers. They just don't do it as plainly as people do. Any man visits us once is joyous day indeed. If it please you, please give me a patronage. As my patron, I ask that you remove the noxious mushrooms that grow in our cave. Flame spores, they're called. You would tend to them with magic, except they leave behind harmful ash. You have no choice but to pluck them one at a time. Now, you will be curious as to what I have to offer. I'm a purveyor of wares that will aid you in your travels. In exchange for a fitting payment, I will give you my choicest items. Cool. Oh, I'll gladly do that for you. Already removed the flame spores. How very quick you are. Oh, but did you perchance search by the western entrance as well? I'm told that more have cropped up in that area. Oh, okay, thanks. For adding that super late. But I will go chat. The arrow is... I got it. I guess I just went down naturally, so the arrow disappeared. As you pluck the last of flame spores, you sense a gaze from the entrance. Oh, must I investigate? Infilia? Hi? Oh no! I wasn't spying or anything. I'm just finishing my task and... Yeah, sure. I should go and report back. Huh? Hey? What did that have to do with anything? Excellent. No more poisonous spores irritating our noses for a little while at least. Oh dear, I believe I am getting sentimental. Having a patron again. It reminds me of the old days. Fair every day, I would carry my wares to the castle to offer in exchange for men's patronage. Back then, the castle wasn't called Legilia. The Voibertites built it, and they named it Gruenis Lich. It was their last bastion in the struggle against Sin Eaters. And now they're gone, all of them. Nobles and knights and common folk alike. How? I guess they got caught in the flood. But if it did flood here, then this place would have been wiped out, so... I don't know. I think they explained it, but I forgot. If you desire anything else I possess, I would be glad to offer them for you for a fitting price, of course. Yeah, no problem. That's how the world works, right? Wide lad. He's been under the weather of late, and chance to perform an honorable task would cheer him up. I forgot if the Final Fantasy XII Nomu looks anything like this. These Nomu actually look more like the one from Tactics. Stylistically. They're all set in the same world, but... Well, then Tactics have different styles. You would be my patron. But I can't do anything for you. The lawless ones took my invisible ink, and without it I can't make my arcane wares. Who are the lawless ones? They're no more like us, except they've turned their backs on our values. Curs without honor they are. Wow, there's such a thing. They refuse to work, instead spending all their time cavorting and making a nuisance of themselves. It was when I was outside for a walk that they set upon me and robbed me of my possessions, like they included. I was too weak to resist them, but you, mortal, you look quite strong. Do you think you could take my ink back from those villains? If you do this, I will consider it your patronage. I And by way of my service, I will make you something very special. Yeah, sure. Yes. Me, Griffin, but I couldn't help overhearing. If you mean to undertake tasks without me company, sure. I would learn from you and help in what little way I can. Sure? Just don't get in the way! I'm not Thancred, excuse you! Thank you so much. The lawless ones make their lair in the south, inside a cave called Father Collard's Chambers. They took many vials of ink and would be grateful if you could bring as many back as possible. What they need all the ink for? On. Huh? What's the pseudo chocobo? Alright. Gwee. Oh shit. How I would like to go and bathe in the lake, but thought that the flock would be waiting puts me right off. Oh! It's not Gwee. Oh man. It's not as obnoxiously bright as the Pixie Land, but this is actually pretty okay. Soothing. I don't know where I'm going. Quite relaxing to the eyes. What the heck? What the hell is this? Oh, it looks like a Patamon. Is that a piggy? What? Oh, it's a flying piggy. Oh. Oh well.